Good afternoon, class. My name is Bassem Darwich, as many of you already know. My topic today is going to be on cyberbullying. First, I will discuss with you, my fellow classmates, what is cyberbullying, the effects of cyberbullying, and how to avoid it. Even though you are my remote audience, with a show of hands, how many of us here today think that many kids feel alone due to cyberbullying, and in the end, because they don't seek the help, the outcome is that they do commit suicide, unfortunately. But also, with a show of hands, how many of us have been bullied, has been the victim, or has been the bully? I have. But first, let's go into what is bullying in my next slide. So what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is the use of any intentional social media platforms to harm an individual, to make the individual feel as if you are the contradictor, to feel as if you are powerful than that individual. So cyberbullying has been out there for many centuries. I have researched this topic and it interested me to discuss this topic with you, my fellow classmates. A topic that has been out for many years and there is still currently no solution to it. So once again, cyberbullying is any use of intentional platforms, social media platforms, to harm an individual, to make him feel little or to belittle him. Now, I will discuss with you, my fellow classmates, the effects of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has so many effects to it. The effects could be depression, stress, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, social distance. Not the social distancing that we are experiencing right now with the COVID-19, but social distancing, like they don't seek out the help. They're scared to seek out the help from anyone, from another individual, from another adult. So, there's two differences here between bullying and cyberbullying. In bullying, the bully fears that he might get punished by a consequence. The cyberbully doesn't fear that he might get punished by a consequence because he's hidden. It's online. It's an online threat to that individual that the bully is bullying. So those are the two differences between bullying and cyberbullying. Do they have many effects? Yes. Does one have more effects than the other? Yes. Cyberbullying has more effects due to the fact that the individual doesn't know who the bully is. Bullying, the victim knows who the bully is. So there is not as many effects on that person that is getting bullied because that person that is getting bullied, the victim, could go ahead and tell an adult because the victim knows who the bully is, so that bully is going to be punished by a consequence. Whereas in other hands, the victim in cyberbullying doesn't know who the bully is. So too many effects on both sides. Effects is that I'm gonna get stressed, I'm gonna get anxiety because I'm getting cyberbullied now, and I don't know who the bully is, so is he really gonna get punished by a consequence or not? That's the fear of the victim with cyberbullying. bullying. Other effects is starve yourself. The victim starts starving himself because of all the anxiety that builds up in him. So that's another stressor. So in my previous slide, we discussed the stress factors of bullying, cyberbullying in other hands, and what happens to the person, the victim that is getting bullied by the cyberbully. He experiences stress factors, anxiety factors, hunger factors, because sometimes they starve themselves because they don't know who the bully is. And bullying, I know who the bully is, so I can just go ahead and go to an adult and tell them, oh, it's this bully. So those are the factors and those are the effects of cyberbullying that I discussed in my previous slide. Now, I would like to discuss to you on how we could possibly prevent cyberbullying. First, one way is the parent of the victim should stop letting their child use social media platforms. Get their child, distance them away from the social media platform. Get them away, distance them away from the social media platform. Second of all, that victim of the cyberbully should talk to their parent about what they are experiencing. Don't distance yourself away from your parent or an adult and where you have all this anxiety building up, all this stress building up, and then in other fact, you might have being suicidal thoughts, and where it could get even more dangerous than that. So, ways to prevent it is, of course, having a safe school environment. If I have an environment in school where the teachers are not really doing much about the bully, or the faculty in the school is not doing much about the bully, then that victim is going to have being more suicidal thoughts. Because if that victim of cyberbullying is going to school and getting bullied from the students at the school too, now all these thoughts are running in the victim's head of suicidal thoughts. So first of all, that victim of the cyberbully should seek an adult. That parent of the victim should keep their child away from the social media platform. Third, or second of all, having a safe school environment really helps the victim because it doesn't pressurize them after what they've gone through with cyberbullying. So, in my next slide and my final slide, I would like to give you, my dear classmates, a conclusion. In conclusion, my dear fellow classmates, I have discussed what is cyberbullying, the effects of cyberbullying, and how to prevent it. My dear fellow classmates, I have experienced bullying as a child. I went through it. It was hell, back and forth. It was hell. It was a living hell for me when I was in elementary school. And I did experience through cyberbullying as well. There's a famous quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's from his I Have a Dream speech. And it goes like, I have a dream that one day a nation will not judge my children by the skin of their color, but by the characteristics and by the character that they truly hold. I don't know if the quote exactly goes like that, but it goes somewhat like that. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is my inspiration. I know I went a little over time. I'm sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed this speech about cyberbullying, and I hope you benefited from this speech about cyberbullying and how to prevent it, because it is a living hell for many of these victims to go through what they have to go through.